Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America. No longer California, Los Angeles, to be pseudo-specific. My name is Brian Engelman, and today is Tuesday, October 7th, 2025, and this right here is Strictly Football, Season 2, Episode number, what are we on? Episode 7 of the season, I believe. We're going to talk about what we learned last week and look forward to make some projections for the upcoming week. So buckle up and let's start today's program.
I'm Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Another week of football in the books. Isn't that right, Jim Mitchell?
It is, correct.
Yes.
It is.
Absolutely correct. Ez'Ryel Pickens. You're on mute.
What's up?
There he is. He's got his voice. And Mike Bara in Jigba, soon to have his voice. We'll keep him off for a moment. Wow. What a week. I mean, we could start with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, it was the European game. While we wait for Mike to jump in here.
Yeah, first game of the week.
Yeah, first game of the week, and it was weird. I normally stream live when my team plays, and we go, all right, let's take a look around the league and look at the other scores, and it's like there's literally nothing else happening across the league. Jim, what surprised you about this game? First start for Dillon Gabriel, and now, of course, the Browns traded away Joe Flacco, swapping 5th and 6th picks to send him to Cincinnati.
The Browns game, I did not watch. This game was.
I sort of envy that, by the way.
This game was as far as pick wise and spread wise. This game was pretty much balls on. I mean, it was only off by half a point. The spread on this game was 3.5, favored by the Vikings. This game was played in London, and that pretty much boosts that statistic as far as teams that are favored playing in London are pretty much 3-1 to win straight out. But Minnesota covered just barely by half a point. The spread on this was 3.5. It was pretty much 3.5 all week.
The hook brings you back. Izzy, did you watch the game? Any thoughts on? I mean, the Browns had their chances. I did the show live. I offered all my analysis in real time. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, I got up pretty early that morning to do laundry, so I caught a bit of the game. Yeah, Dillon Gabriel, he seemed all right. I'd say he's mediocre at best. A lot of missed throws, overthrows, underthrows. A lot of missed opportunities on offense. I mean, like I texted you during the game. I said this is a punt fest because I think the Cleveland Browns punter had like about 6 or 7 punts out there, and yeah, I mean just mediocre at best. The Vikings, they looked all right. Carson Wentz, I mean he was getting the ball, some big plays from Justin Jefferson, but yeah, the offense is there's still no answer for the offense. I mean Quinshon Judkins looks good, but besides that. You need a quarterback, and the quarterback looks mediocre. I'm not calling for Shadur Sanders, but I would say the question is what would Shadur have looked like in that situation over Dillon Gabriel?
Well, as far as I'm concerned with it, Dillon Gabriel, no stupid mistakes, 2 touchdowns on the road in another country. He did enough to win. The defense kind of didn't win. We found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Couldn't make any of the big plays down the road when it mattered most, Mike, Bara, and Jigba. The Browns and the Vikings in England, jolly old England. I mean, it came down to the end, and the Browns found a way to lose. The Vikings found a way to win. And Dylan Gabriel, I mean, I don't know. Any thoughts on the game in general?
For me, I didn't see all that much of it. I did watch most of the red zone stuff, actually, on hang on a second.
Yes, Mike is in the middle of deliveries.
I am. I'm getting a delivery here. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, that number exactly. Teams that are favored in London, England, 36, 10, and 1 straight up.
Okay.
So,
but I thought
they're now 37, 10, and 1 straight up. So
yeah,
it's like I said, that spread was only, the wise guys knew something in Vegas. I know this is probably all done by computer and algorithms now instead of, a bunch of nerds sitting around, with Superman glasses on, figuring out point spreads. But, that's the way they used to do it old school. But, they're off by half a point. I mean, this game was decided by 4 points. And, and the spread was 3.5. So it's pretty much balls on. And the over under was relatively low in this game. I mean, it was the over under was 35.5. So, the number went over just a little bit, by a couple of points, but the game was over the total.
And the referees did take 7 points off the board from a 60-yard Quinshon Judkins touchdown run. I guess the block did help spring him, but points came off the board there, Mike. Tough loss.
Well, if you consider the block to actually be illegal, which I'm not sure it was. So, but I thought Dylan Gabriel looked pretty good. He looks like a professional quarterback. That's the most important thing, is that a guy has the professional temperament. And it's a shame it's a shame in a sense that, you guys again struggle. You continue to have this great defense and you're not able to capitalize on it with wins, but Flacco was traded today. I think it's time, which again, Cincinnati, that's not a solution. Joe Flacco is not going to elevate you to a playoff team. So, it was it was kind of an interesting game from what I saw. And I think the Browns now have a chance to grow with Dylan Gabriel. I do like Shadur, but we'll just have to wait and see how Gabriel does. He's first up. He got the first shot. He was the higher draft pick. I guess that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, and you know what? The Bengals, number one in fantasy, Jamar Chase isn't doing much with Jake Browning out there. Jake Browning's delivering 3 points a game. What is that? 2 games in a row? 3 points, if I have my memory.
I just learned Jamar just had 40 points this week.
Oh, okay. Yes, a lot of that came right. All right, fine. I'll grant that. But as far as airing it out, we're having the conversation internally about Coach Kevin Stefanski, and does he ruin quarterbacks by turning them into check down artists? So, Dylan Gabriel, game 1, in another country, they're going to keep the training wheels on. They're going to give him the 100 level playbook. It's his first game. I know he played 5 years, 6 years in college, but fine. Now we need to see, can we open it up and stretch the defense a little bit? Because the dinking and dunking just ain't working. And the calls to remove Kevin Stefanski are growing in Cleveland. So good luck to Joe Flacco. Thanks for the memories, but he'll be playing in Cincinnati now, no longer in Cleveland. All right, let's talk about the game in your backyard. This was a really good game. 49ers-Rams. This one went to overtime with the Niners barely edging it out. Izzy, this is your city. So what did you make of this Rams? Did the Rams lose it or did the Niners win it?
I'm trying to recall the game. I do kind of believe the Rams did lose it, but credit to Mac Jones. I do believe that during the draft, I think it was the 2021 draft, that Kyle Shanahan wanted to get Mac Jones as a quarterback over Trey Lance because of the way the scheme fits. In my opinion, I do believe Mac Jones is better for the way that Kyle runs his offense over Brock Purdy. I'm not saying that Brock Purdy doesn't deserve to be the starter, but he has the things that you really can't teach that Brock Purdy doesn't have. That's why Mac Jones went in the top 10 while Brock Purdy was the last pick. He gets the ball out faster. He makes his reads and progressions faster. He plays the game faster than Brock Purdy, and he plays it as good, way better on a different tier than Brock Purdy. But as long as they have Christian McCaffrey, Mac Jones, he'll be winning. They'll win games. There is I believe there's a quarterback controversy that's going to start there. And even after the game, Kyle Shanahan said they asked him, "What do you think of Mac Jones?" And he said, "Yeah, he's a starter in this league." So we'll see how that works, because are they going to ride the hot hand and keep winning? Especially after the last game Brock Purdy played, he lost. So, but yeah, Matthew Stafford, he made some great throws. The Rams just lost. Kyron Williams fumbled at the 5-yard line or whatnot, and it cost them the game. So it was a great game at the end of the day, but I do believe Mac Jones should be the starter going forward.
Yeah, Niners get the win. Jim, Mike.
Yeah,
Jim,
is absolutely correct. I mean, I don't think the 49ers won the game. I think the Rams lost the game. You know, if you want to work this case backwards, I mean, going from overtime and working through the game, they got they're 4th and 1 in overtime, and they are well within the chance of still tying up the game and having the game continue under the new overtime rules. So if you could see the interview at the end of the game. If I want to go back further, you know, McVay is just, you know, he's angry, visibly angry at himself for making that decision, handing the ball off to Kyron Williams and not making that yard. They're 4th and 1, whereas they've got a competent field goal kicker. They can trot the field goal kicker out, tie the game up again in overtime, and hand the ball back to the 49ers. That would have been the play, because if you saw Mac Jones walk off the field in that last series, he looked like he was puking his guts out. I mean, he got hit hard. It looked like somebody broke his rib. I mean, he was doubled over, and he had to physically drag himself off the field. And I don't think
he got beat up.
I don't think
Santa
Clara would not have had a successful series if they had just if the Rams had tied the game up and given the ball back to Santa Clara and said, "Okay, yeah, trot Mac Jones back out there and you know, see what he can do." No, he was walking wounded.
Yeah,
I think they would have been 4 and out, and the Rams would have got the ball back, and they would have won the game. Going back to what we had talked about last week, talking about statistics, Shanahan owns the Rams in Los Angeles. They are now 8-1 against the spread in LA. He owns McVay. It's a head game. And McVay just can't get over Santa Clara.
Yeah,
never get over Macho
Rams are
Gron.
4-9 straight up versus the 49ers. So Iz is right. He's absolutely right. The Rams gave it away. Santa Clara didn't win the game. The Rams gave it to him.
Yeah, Mike, this one went to overtime. I mean, it was evenly matched. It was in some ways reminiscent of the game we're going to get to. Obviously, your and Jim's favorite game of the week, watching your Seattle Seahawks. Both quarterbacks threw for over 320 yards, 80% completion rate.
Yeah.
It was high-quality quarterback play. We got it out of Mac Jones and Matthew Stafford, but the Niners just had a little bit more this week.
They had a little bit more. They came in prepared. I think the Rams were a little surprised how fired up they were. You got to give them some credit. I do think that was it Kyron Williams that fumbled at the goal line? He got punched in the face. Okay, that's a fucking penalty. I'm sorry, that's not a fumble. That's a penalty, and that's the kind of thing that should always be reviewable. And it's apparently not reviewable. And I'm not sure if they would have called it, but I do believe that's always a penalty when you punch a player in the face. So, a lot of, games.
Maybe not in the 1970s or early 80s when they were selling the hard compilation on VHS.
I mean, and here's again the thing. We're going to talk about this a little bit, I think, in some of the games, because I did see this happen in quite a few of the games. It's it just should not have happened. How they find all these ticky-tack fouls. Like I think in the Seahawks game, I think there were like 8 or 9 flags in the first half on the Seahawks, right? They find all these little itty-bitty fouls to call, but they don't see that. I mean, give me a break. We know they saw it. They just didn't want to call it for whatever reason. Who knows what the reason is behind it, but that part of it was wrong, and I felt bad for the Rams. In that particular case, I didn't really have either way, it's a win for me, and either way, it's a loss for me as a Seahawks fan. But it would have been nice to see the game properly called.
Well, I mean, maybe you're rooting for a tie at that point. Maybe the tie equally hurts both teams.
Well, yeah, I don't. I kind of think of it. I guess as a Seahawks fan, my preference would have been the Rams won, the 49ers lost, because then there's the 3-way tie probably at the top. I think. No, anyway, but we haven't played the Rams yet, so that's what I would have gone for.
It's still early, Mike. Don't come back.
It is. Well, all right. I don't know if we all have thoughts on this one, or if we just want to touch on it. Indianapolis Colts took down the Las Vegas Raiders. Ez'Ryel, that's your boy out there. Indiana came to earth a little bit, but he did just fine. And Jonathan Taylor's an MVP candidate, right up there with Baker Mayfield. 40-6, Colts get the win. Any surprises?
No, not really any surprises, but I'm still waiting on when it is Pete Carroll and the front office going to find a new quarterback, because Geno Smith has been one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. He has 9 interceptions leading the league, and he's not fit for this offense. I still believe they do need to keep riding Ashton Genty, even without their O-lineman. I feel like that should be a thing, and they should try to get some more O-linemen this offseason. But yeah, the Colts, they look good. Jonathan Taylor, you could do a lot with Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones, and a good O-line like that. So I think it's expected to win around the expected points that the Colts should have put up against them, the Raiders, and the amount of opportunities they give. So,
and of course, the Cleveland Browns traded Kenny Pickett to the Vegas Raiders, so he's their backup. Aiden
I don't think he'd be any better, to be honest. But yeah.
Well, I mean, who knows? Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of these former first-round picks that don't do well for their first team, thrive on their second or third team. So who knows? Brock Bowers questionable still, wondering when he's going to come back. His absence is notable, but yeah, you're not really going anywhere with Geno Smith. Jim, thoughts on this game? Raiders, Colts? Anything?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this game. This was one of the glaring obvious games. If you wanted to give up 6.5 in a game, I mean, I didn't think the Raiders actually had a chance against this team. This team is the Colts are for real. I mean, they're a for real football team, and
yeah,
they're pretty much controlling the AFC South here. Again,
although the Texans are showing some signs of life, we'll see before we write them out too.
And the Jaguars.
The Titans are showing signs of life?
No.
No.
Texans. The Texans and
the Texans, yes. But going into this game, the team that's favored was 22-4 straight up. So if you had this game on the money line, you were cashing the ticket. If you had this game, if you're just betting the side, you were cashing the ticket. But this was probably the most glaring, obvious game of the week, and pretty much everybody had their money on the Colts.
Yep, and this was one of the few that I got right on my pick'em. I was only 6-8 this week, so yeah, luckily I picked the Colts here, Mike. Jonathan Taylor, early MVP choice, along with Baker Mayfield, a couple of others, maybe Danny Dimes also, but the Colts get it done. No surprises. You were sick of Geno Smith a long time ago. Would you like to see Kenny Pickett step in?
I mean, the Raiders are 1-4. Geno Smith is terrible, and Pete Carroll is clueless. Who would have seen that coming? Oh, that's right. Every Seahawks fan for the last 5 years. Yeah. They suck. Seriously. Geno's not good enough. The rest of the team's not good enough. They have a real lack of talent. It was funny. Nick Wright, the little weird warthog on FSN, that fucking weird, freaky looking dude. He's like, oh, I might have overrated the Raiders. Yeah, you did, because you're not paying attention to Seahawks football. So, you know, that's bullshit.
Nick Wright's actually a pretty big guy, Mike. I played with him in the World Series. So he's 6'2", 6'3". He's a pretty big dude.
Yeah, he still looks like a warthog. So,
he looks better with a shaved head.
The Raiders are just they're just not good. That's all you can say about it. They're just not good.
Yeah, they got Ashton Janty and they got Brock Bowers. They got a couple pieces, but Tom Brady, new to the ownership group, really needs to make some moves in the offseason to revamp.
They got Crosby. That's about it.
Yeah, Crosby too. They have about 3 key players. A handful of key players, but yeah, 1-4 sit in the same spot that the Cleveland Browns are in. All right, let's talk about the Saints and the Giants. This is in your division, Izzy. The Giants fall to 1-4. Saints they improve to 1-4. Jackson Dart, 2 touches, 2 interceptions. What did you take away here?
I didn't watch the game a lot. I had the Saints winning. Yeah, I don't believe Jackson Dart's going to get it done over Russell Wilson, and especially behind that O-line. Like I said, I don't believe anyone could get it done behind the Giants O-line, but I mean, possibly just rookie mistakes with the 2 picks. Spencer Rattler, he looked pretty good out there. I do believe the Saints could have put up like at least another touchdown or field goal against the Giants because their defense isn't all that neither. But yeah, I really didn't watch this game, but it's a good win. Finally, the Saints could get over that hump, winning their first game, and maybe Dayball can have an idea that Jackson Dart is not going to save his coaching career. So.
I liked seeing Rashid Shaheed go for 87 yards. That was fun to watch. Jim, do you have any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Spencer Rattler did probably look good in this game. I did not watch the game. Going into this game, Rattler was 0-10 straight up. He had yet to win a football game as a starter. So
okay, congrats to him.
This was Rattler's breakout game by beating the GI Ants, and they went in as a 1.5 point favorite, and it pretty much stayed that way all week. So, they ended up winning the game, covering the number, and Rattler, put a notch in his belt. One of hopefully many for New Orleans.
And Theo Johnson gets 2 touchdowns receiving for the Giants. Mike, any thoughts on this one?
Also, Brian, if there was any question whether or not Mike can multitask, I think he pretty much answered that.
Sorry, I'm eating I want to eat my wings before they get too cold. So yeah. And I'm doing something else over here too on the phone. So yeah, I did see quite a bit of this game. I did watch with interest. I'm posting Jackson Dart's games next to Russell Wilson's best game as a Giant, week 2, side by side, and I keep saying miss me yet. I mean, again, I think it's foolish for the Giants to think that Jackson Dart's going to be able to really win them a lot of games. He can do things with his legs. There's no question he's able to scramble in ways that Russ can't anymore, and he gives them that advantage, which is maybe something important in the overall scheme of things. But the reality is that, he's not going to be anywhere close in the passing game, and the Giants just aren't really going to go anywhere because of that. So in terms of Spencer Rattler, he's a good player on a bad team. Really with Rattler, you're looking for, he's got to be looking at basically putting down tape for his next job, hoping he gets a shot somewhere else when New Orleans inevitably drafts a quarterback this year or next year in the first round. So that's where we're at with them.
Yeah, I think the Browns are in a race to go as low as possible and get that pick. We're hoping that the Jacksonville Jaguars might have given us a high pick, but they're 4-1 somehow. Izzy, let's go to your team. Dallas Cowboys win 37-22, a little bit more of a fist fight than perhaps anticipated against the New York Football Jets. What did you learn about your favorite team, the Cowboys?
I missed like most of the game. I went to sleep after the first quarter, but It was a good. I mean, it was a good game for the Cowboys. Fun fact: 4 of our starting 5 offensive linemen were out that game,
Mm.
and Dak Prescott still found a way to throw for 4 passing touchdowns and no mistakes against Sauce Gardner and a pretty decent defense that the Jets have. Javonte had a great game, 100-something rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 on ground, 1 in the air.
Yeah.
George Pickens had a huge touchdown. I mean, and a lot of sacks. I think we had we stacked up the sack sheet trying to get the Justin Fields this week, which was pretty good. But yeah, it's a good team win. Justin Fields, he hasn't had a turnover throughout the season yet, I believe. But a lot of his yards and touchdowns are in garbage time, so don't let that fool you. But yeah, the Cowboys still have the number 1 offense and number 4 worst defense. Dak's second for passing yards, and Javonte's third for rushing yards. So, and this is behind a broken O-line. I'm surprised how good Brian Schottenheimer has made this offense look. I just hope that we don't give up 22 points to the Jets and almost 30 points a game to any other team, and for us to score 40 points a game just to keep it competitive. But as far as that, it's a really good game. Missing 4 linemen, our starting wide receiver, our third wide receiver, and it's a great game.
All right, Jim.
Yeah,
Any
the
thoughts
Jets going into this game, I didn't understand the line movement in this. The Cowboys opened as a 2.5-point favorite, and they were bet down to 1.5, which means people were coming in on the Jets on this game, thinking maybe the Cowboys were going to land flat, and I didn't suspect that at all. I mean, I thought the Cowboys pretty much controlled this game throughout. Statistically, the Jets were 6-16 against the spread when the line opened between +3 and -3. So this number fell between that number, and 6-16 against the spread is not good. Cowboys, went into the game. The line closed here in Vegas at 1.5, and they covered that number pretty handily. So Cowboys were the pick this week.
Well, they did get it done. Mike took care of business.
Well, yeah. Again, yeah. Now that I'm done with dinner, thank you. Again, I thought what was really that the Cowboys were just on cruise control in that game, and the Jets just are not very good. And you just got to wonder how a team can have that many high picks and not be better than that. And they're going to be picking up high again. I don't really get it, but they just continue to not be good enough. And Justin Fields, again, better running the ball than throwing the ball. I thought Dak, from what I saw, made all the plays he had to make, and Cowboys got a relatively comfortable win on the road, which is, look, you beat any NFL team on the road, you're doing good. I don't care who they are.
That's a fair point. The Jets fall to 0-5. They're having a tough go of things. But yeah, Cowboys improved to 2-2, and Eagles just got a loss. That's okay. Let's go to that one. I mean, Broncos beat the Eagles here. That's a little surprising. That's good news for Cowboy fans. Izzy, start with you again, I guess. It's in your conference, the Eagles. How surprised were you the Eagles lost 17-21 to the 3-2 Broncos?
Not surprised at all, because I chose the Broncos to win this week.
Congrats.
I still do believe the Broncos defense is really good, at least top 10. I believe both teams match up similarly on the depth chart by their quarterbacks, their running backs, well, Saquon and JK in the middle, their receivers, but especially their defense. I believe they're a similar team. And what we've seen from the Philadelphia Eagles for the past couple of weeks is that they're pulling out wins by not doing much. And I felt like against the Broncos and their defense, they'd have to do a lot more than they have done all year. And they haven't done that. Saquon Barkley had 6 carries for 30 yards. Jalen Hurts finally had to throw the ball, but went 23 for 38, 280, 2 touchdowns, and not a lot of deep balls. So it just shows what the Eagles are capable of and how they match up against a team that has a pretty good defense. And I feel like Sean Payton will get it done because Bo Nix has more of an arm, more of a passing talent than Jalen Hurts, and I felt like that was going to be the decider of the game. So yeah,
Jim.
Yeah, this just to tag on what Mike said, this technically was a turnover week for the NFL as far as betting is concerned. I mean, there were 14 games played, and 8 out of the 14 dogs actually covered this week. So this was one of those games, and statistically, I didn't see it coming. I mean, Jalen Hurts is 18-0 straight up as a home favorite going into this game. 18-0. I mean, there was no way I could take the Broncos in this game, especially the Broncos were 1-3 against the spread this year, and 18-25 against the spread going back to the last couple of years, and they're 6-24 straight up on the road. So going into this game, you got to think maybe Sean Payton's got this team turned around, and Nix is playing pretty consistent football, but I didn't see this coming. In fact, this was the game that killed my parlay, along with the that great ball handling by the Cardinals.
Oh, that play.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, big thumbs
My favorite
down.
part is how the coach apologized for being upset with the player. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
That's
well,
absurd.
just happening the week before. I don't want to jump the gun, but just happening the week before. If you don't learn from past history, you're doomed to repeat. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, the Broncos took out the Eagles. That was maybe not on most of our bingo boards. Izzy got this one. Mike, you're surprised?
No, I was surprised, but again, it's the NFL, so anything can happen. And this is one of those weeks when a lot of unlikely things happened. The Eagles were 4-0 coming in. You're bound to have an off game. You're bound to have a bad game. They just happened to have it against a pretty good Denver team, good defense. And the Broncos made the plays they needed to make to win. I think Bo Nix, I don't see what his yardage was. It was pretty good.
242 yards on 24 of 39, 1 touchdown, no mistakes.
Yeah. So, he played the way Sean Payton likes his offenses to play, which is just don't make mistakes and be efficient and get the ball out quickly. But, the Eagles woulda, coulda, shoulda probably won this game. Look, you play 5 games, your chances of going 5-0 are very, very, almost nil. They're very low. So, it's just one of those games, and you just write it off, just like it's like the Cardinals game we're going to talk about later. Shit happens, right? But it's not indicative of a pattern. So the Eagles are still really good. The Broncos are pretty good, but I think this is kind of a fluky game. You just kind of go with it.
This was kind of a strange one, too. I think a lot of us expected the Dolphins to win, and Carolina found a way to get it done here, Izzy. They got the unexpected win, 27-24. Carolina improves to 2-3. The Dolphins fall to 1-4 on the day. Tua had 3 touchdowns, no big mistakes. It was almost enough, but just not enough. Bryce Young and the boys took it down.
Yeah, I believe I said during last week, I said that Bryce Young found a way to throw for 200. Well, if he didn't throw for 200, then he doesn't have a starting job in the NFL, and he threw for 198. That's right on the line. It's an interesting game. I mean, like, no Tyreek Hill. Tua played on the stat sheet. He played a darn good game, 256 yards, 3 TDs, no interceptions. Devin Achane didn't do much on the ground, 1.6 yards per carry. But the air game was good. But when the Miami Dolphins don't have a corner or a single DB that you know the name of, it's hard to choose them to win a game when their defense isn't that good. And Rico Dowdle just lit up the field. I mean, like, if you look at it, 23 carries, 206 yards. Where did that come from? That's insane. He just lit up the defense on of the Dolphins, and that pretty much won them the game. They rode Rico Dowdle all game. So It's another good team win for Carolina. They're on the edge of 2-3. They could possibly get the 500 next week. But yeah, it's a good game. Pretty good game.
Jim, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think Chuba Hubbard was listed as not being. He did not practice all week, and I don't think he played in this game. So, a running back out or a wide receiver out, will not change a point spread. A good quarterback will change a point spread. This game opened at Dolphins being favored at 1.5, and pretty much closed there. It was a close game. It was a 3-point difference. So the sharps weren't too off as far as figuring this game. The game went well over the total. It opened at 44.5, and it ended at 51. So you're pretty comfortable as far as being over the total. This was as Mike and I would call a corner football game. So
corner football game, Mike. Any thoughts?
Did not watch.
Not really. I didn't bother to watch much of it. It didn't do much for me. I would just, again, the Dolphins are really bad. They're very poorly coached, and Bryce Young is still not good enough. So I don't know. He's just not very good. So we'll have to wait and see if he continues to develop. That's all I got to say. Bryce, not good.
Well, somebody else who's not good is the Baltimore Ravens. I'm pretty happy about this one. They fall to 1-4. I'm not crying in my Cheerios about this. They stole my team in 1995. I'll never forgive them.
Right.
Look, the Texans back on board. 44 points, 4 touchdowns from C.J. Stroud. Where's this guy been all season long? Nice to see. And yeah, Cooper Rush, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns on the day. Izzy bounced out. Mike, I'll start with you. Thoughts on this one?
Well,
I mean, are the Ravens this bad, or are the Texans starting to figure it out?
Neither one. Well, no, the Ravens are that bad, but the Texans are not. This was not indicative of a big win for them. This is not a signature win. This doesn't really change anything. The reality is that C.J. Stroud had a good, efficient game, didn't make any mistakes, got the touchdowns, 22 of 27, I think it was. Not a lot of yards. They don't have a great offense. They don't have a great defense. But overall, they have better talent than the Ravens. And you're just seeing with, the Ravens with Lamar were not winning. They were 1-3. The Ravens without Lamar they were 1-2. They're horrendous. So without Lamar, they're horrendous. And there's not much else you can say about it. The Ravens are bad. The Texans are mediocre.
Nick Chubb got a rushing touchdown on the day. I loved seeing that. Jim, what did you take away from this one?
Yeah, I think this game opened as the Ravens being a point and a half favorite, and the line moved all the way over to the Texans early. I believe it was Monday evening. It started out that Houston was going to be favored, and it pretty much stayed there at 1.5. No one actually knew what was going to happen in this game. The Ravens were just devastated the week before with injuries, and going into this game, prior to them playing in week 4, no one in their right mind would figure that Houston would go in there as a favorite. But the injuries dictated the number, and that's pretty much all I have. And because of that number, I really had nothing to donate to this game.
Izzy, what'd you think about this one? Oh, there he goes. Hold on, wait. He's bouncing in and out.
Yeah, my bad. My phone overheated. It's taking a toll. What game are we on?
We are on the Texans. We are on the Texans beating up the Ravens.
Yeah, I didn't expect it, but like I keep saying every week, I didn't know how many people were out for the Ravens defense. And that shows a lot, because you have one of the worst O-lines putting up 44 points against you. All respect to C.J. Stroud, pretty perfect game with 23 for 27 for a touchdown. So no Lamar. I mean, that seems like the problem when you don't have Lamar at quarterback, because it's just not going to work out. So it's a good one for the Texans to get their hopes up and their motivation. So
Yeah, and it's tough for me as a Browns fan sitting here. The Bengals are 1-4. The Ravens are 1-4. The Steelers are pedestrian. They're average. They're okay, but I don't know that they have it built in them to last the whole season. It's like there's a chance in the division if we could just get our act together. We've given away 2 games we could have won. The Bengals and last week against the Vikings. It's like we could be 3-2 right in the driver's seat of the division. Instead, we're 1-4, and we're just not even close. But we are what your record says you are, I suppose. Tennessee Titans get their first win, which is good for the Browns if we're playing for high draft picks next year. 22-21 over the Arizona Cardinals. Everybody wants to talk about what we want to talk about on this one. Mike, you're chomping at the bit about this play. The Arizona Cardinals, good grief. Why did he drop the ball?
I don't know. I absolutely was positive the Cardinals were going to win this game. Titans are terrible. They're still terrible in spite of the fact they won it, but they played hard. They didn't give up. They fought. And the Cardinals have no heart. Kyler Murray doesn't have a heart. Their coach doesn't have a heart. The guy, again, I don't know what this coach, what's his name? McDonald, what's his name? I forget his name. But if he didn't play, if I'm an NFL coach and I see the guy from Indianapolis throw away the game with a holding penalty and then throwing the ball out of his hand before he gets to the goal line, I'm showing that to every one of my players, every single one of them. Because just in case you pick up a fumble and you're running with it, you better fucking remember to hold on the ball until you cross that goal line. How you could have the same mistake 2 weeks in a row just means you didn't coach that this week. And you suck as a coach. And then he punches the guy, Gannon. Thank you, Jonathan Gannon. And then he punches the guy on the sideline. And you have a right to be pissed, okay? Because guys got to be responsible. But you also have to understand these are athletes. They're not super intellectual for the most part. And you got to coach them. You got to remind them. And you can't tell me that he reminded. Maybe he did. Maybe he told them. Maybe he said, make sure you don't do this. And the guy did it anyway. But, now what are you going to do? Me personally, a guy does that, I'm cutting him. Now the coach can't cut him because he punched him. What a fucking disaster. And you don't punch your players. And I've seen it. It was a closed fist punch. You could head slap a guy. You can be pissed at him. You can scream at him all you want. I wouldn't even head slap him, really. But it's like now you sort of wipe out the inappropriateness of his poor judgment on the field with everything that you just did. So, look, this is a team that's spiraling out of control. The Cardinals, they're in big trouble. They just lost to probably the worst team in the NFL. Is there a Saints-Titans game coming up later this year? Because I'd really like to see that. That would be the crummy game of the week. So, that's what I got to say about it. Cardinals have no heart. There's no leadership on that team. They have no heart. And I think they're going to be starting over again this year with a new coach and maybe even another new quarterback. I don't know.
Jim, what say you?
I watched the short interview with Kyler Murray this week, and he just seemed totally disinterested in the season so far. He's asked a question and he's shaking his head and he's alluding to the fact that he's not going to be with the team next year. And I want to just, tag on to what Mike says. Kyler Murray's not going to be with the Cardinals next year. Somebody's going to either buy out his contract or he's going to be carrying a clipboard somewhere, but he will not be with the Cardinals. And let's put a name on this mistake. Amari DiMercato, not Mercado, DiMercato. And this was again, we talked about Deshaun Jackson, who pretty much made this move famous, celebrating 2 yards before you cross the goal line. Mike's absolutely right. That would have been the topic of the offensive coordinator in the special teams and also offensive
meeting rooms,
meetings, prior to the game. And this DeMercado guy, he's from what I understand, he's a third string running back.
They're without James Conner, of course. They're playing with the best they got.
He got the interception, and he showboated it, a yard before he crossed the line.
Yeah, and the punch, I'm looking at it. He hits him in the shoulder pad. It's not great. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's speaking to the dysfunction. Izzy, what did you take away from this one?
Hold on, wait. I'm watching a clip right now. Okay. Yeah, I just seen it.
Trying to see.
I would say it's a mix of frustration. Like, come on, man. Like right here on the shoulder. Yeah. It's just the Cardinals found a way to lose the game. You could talk about that 1 yard right before the 1 yard line, him fumbling the ball. I understand why they're still doing it in the league. I feel like you should at least be benched a game or two. Just be like, hey man, you can't do that. Are you serious? You're a professional. Make it all the way through the end zone before you start your theatrics. Secondly, I want to talk about the interception Cam Ward threw. Defensive back caught the ball. God knows what happened. He fell down, ball fumbled. Everybody scrambling. Titans player picks it up in the end zone, catches it. Picks it up for a touchdown. Free most Titans touchdown he'll ever see it. So the Cardinals beat themselves up, and
that play was ridiculous. That play was insane. It was Keystone Cops.
Yeah, and it's like it gets to a point. Me personally, I don't believe the Arizona head coach. He came from the Eagles. I don't believe he was a head coach caliber kind of guy. And I still do believe in Kyler Murray. It's just he can't do it with a franchise that hasn't really won anything. With a coach it's his first year. It seems that they have a top 5 pick every year. I don't believe it's that much off of Kyler Murray's fault. Yeah, you can't say he's mediocre, but the team looks like a clown show at the end of the day. And I feel like he's a winner. He showed it in high school. He played in one of the hardest divisions in high school, went undefeated. In college, he won a Heisman. Kyler Murray is a phenomenal quarterback, and he got dealt one of the worst hands in football. And I do believe he should start a brand new and with a new team. And I believe he'll make the playoffs next year with whatever team he chooses.
I'm just not sure he loves the game that much. So
I'm
just not sure he loves the game.
No, he doesn't.
I wouldn't love the game anymore if I played for that team.
Yeah, he's probably true.
He just sounds totally disinterested when he talks about the team, when he talks about football. He's basically picking up a check and hitting the gate every day.
Yeah, he's a competitor. And he's been a competitor his whole life. He was top 5 pick in the MLB, number 1 pick in the NFL. He's a competitor. He signed with video game companies because he loves competing, and I feel bad for him. Like I said, when you're on a theatrical circus team like that, it's like you can't take it serious anymore. It's just a joke at that point.
It's like the Cardinals and the Jets and teams like that. They just lose all the time. Why do they always lose? It's like it has to be some. The fish rots from the head down. Is it the ownership? What's the reason why these teams continue to just be bad year after year after year? No matter what coach is in there, no matter what general managers in there, and even in the glory days when they had Carson Palmer, they were never that fucking good. The only reason they ever won the division over the Seahawks is a couple of games where they got like 15 calls that basically handed them the game. They were never good, even with Arians and guys like that there. So it's something. There's some disease in the building with some of these teams.
Mike, it was the same team when they were in the NFC East when they were the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
I know you probably don't remember, but I used to watch Jim Hart. Jim Hart was the quarterback for.
I do.
He was probably the best quarterback that the Cardinals had. When they were in St. Louis, and they were just disconnected then. And they were in the same division. With the Cowboys and the Giants and the Eagles. That was the NFC East. When they had 5 teams in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Before the Seahawks and the Buccaneers came into the league.
What was their recent trip to the Super Bowl? Wasn't that Kurt Warner against?
Yeah, Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner
against the Steelers.
But even then, they're just not winners. They just don't win there. The fans don't care. I mean, I just don't think, it's like the Rams 49ers game. There's more 49ers fans there than Rams fans. And it's just, there's no culture. There's something missing. I don't know exactly what it is.
Ever
Los
since
Angeles-
Larry Fitzgerald retires, and they got no heart whatsoever.
Yep. Like I said, Kyler Murray's a competitor.
Larry Fitzgerald was the heart and the brains of that team, and he's not there anymore.
Yep. Kyler's a competitor. Hope he finds a new team.
All right, let's talk about two great competitors. Mike, we'll start with you. This is the first time I was scrolling, if you can believe all these things that you find on Facebook or Instagram. This is the first time that two quarterbacks have thrown for 320 or more yards at 80% completion rate. Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, the number 1 pick and the number 3 overall pick. This is a close game. The Buccaneers bested your Seattle Seahawks, Mike. What did you take away from this one? I mean, this is a battle. This was a typical Baker battle, coming from behind, coming from a tie game, playing in the last minute. What did you learn?
Well, I didn't get to watch a lot of it. I watched it on Red Zone at the conference I was at, but I did watch a replay. And, I mean, again, you had two quarterbacks flinging the ball all over the place. One of those wild shootout games. A game like that's going to come down to somebody's going to make a mistake. Somebody's going to get a sack. Somebody's going to get a strip fumble. Somebody's going to throw the ball away at the goal line. And it just happened to be that it was when the Seahawks had the ball, when the ball doinked off somebody's helmet on a Darnold pass, and the Bucs got the turnover and pulled the game out. So this game, to me, for all intents and purposes, was totally equal. People are a little concerned about the Seahawks defense. Hey, you know what? Their top 4 defensive backs were out of that game. And I'm sure they would have won the game if maybe one, or especially if 2 of those guys had been able to play in the game. They just didn't. They got injured. They were out. I mean, they were down. They're basically their number 1 defensive back in that game was their 5th best defensive back. So it's just one of those games where that kind of shit happens. And, you have a game like this every year. Every team has a game that you probably should have won, but it's a shootout and something fluky happens and you lose. So this is their game for this year. Hopefully that's the only one. And the Seahawks got a tough game coming up. They got to play the Jaguars on the road next week. But it's just one of those games that was a great, entertaining game to watch. What a great game, and what great quarterback play. And Sam Darnold, to me, has proven that he's the guy. He's their quarterback. He's the guy they can build around for the next 3 to 5 years for sure.
That seems like a great move for you guys in the offseason. Remind me, what did it cost you to get Sam Darnold? Just a free agency? Or did you have to trade?
About $35 million a year, 3 years, $135 million, something like that. Not that much. Cap hit's not that high. So
yeah, and I mean, Baker Mayfield signed a 3-year, $100 million. I mean, if you can get a guy for 30,
and another thing too,
what a deal!
I want to remind Seahawk land again that in 2022, when we traded Russell Wilson and we only had Geno Smith, in spite of the 2022 season he had, I said the thing we need to do is go out and get Baker Mayfield, who was a free agent, and let him compete with Geno Smith for that starting job. Had we done that, not only would we have won the game on Saturday or on Sunday, but Seahawks would have won more games over the last 3 years, and we'd be in a better position now because Baker, well, maybe not better because Baker and Darnold are both great quarterbacks, but we would have had our guy 2 or 3 years ago. So.
And 2 years ago, people were saying Baker and Darnold were trash. They were bums. They'd be lucky to be backups in this league. I had people telling me every day about how terrible Baker was. I'm like, I don't see it at all. I think he's a future MVP candidate. Just like I said about Trevor Bauer. I think he's a future Cy Young winner. Guess what? I was right about that. And I was right about Baker. Jim, your favorite team just didn't have enough this day to get it done.
No, I watched this game. This game was very entertaining. I mean, it was offensive-centric. And Regina and I both watched the game, and I was hoping I knew Mike was going to be tied up, but I mean, whoever had the ball last was going to win. Football.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the whole story of this football game, and it was retro uniform day. It was Bruce the Buccaneer, and
he was fucking safe. Sorry. Watching the baseball game, he was fucking safe. By the way.
Oh, it's all now.
Don't watch the baseball game.
Tie goes to the
Mike.
runner. That's safe.
Mike. It's like watching paint dry, man. No, don't watch the baseball game.
I gotta care about my mares.
And
I'll
cheer for you.
Sam Clemente. I mean, he got a great deal. I mean, he went from Minnesota. He went to Seattle. No state income tax in Seattle, like Nevada, right, Mike? So
Yeah.
no state income tax in Texas either. But he got a pay raise, by going to the Seahawks.
Yes, is he?
Yeah, I don't watch the game as much, but yeah, I bet it was a pretty good game. I mean, 35 to what was it, 34 to 37?
38-35 there.
38-35,
yeah, 38-35. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a good game. Baker Mayfield threw for almost 400. Sam Darnold threw for 350, pretty much. But yeah, Egbuka, he's a monster. Najigba, he's a monster.
Mhm.
These Ohio State guys are monsters, and hopefully they could be the starting receiver for their team for the longest. So.
Yeah, I liked seeing Rashad White stepping in for the injured Bucky Irving. He had 2 touchdowns on the day. Emeka Egbuka targeted 7 times for 7 receptions, 163 yards, a long of 57, and a touchdown. I mean, yeah, Chris Godwin's in, but he only got targeted 4 times on the day. Mike Evans is out. I mean, some people thought the Buccaneers were being a little excessive drafting Emeka Egbuka with their first-round pick, and it's like, no, you got a gunslinger. Give him some weapons. And my God, Emeka Egbuka is right on path for Rookie of the Year this year. I don't know who else. If I asked you guys just around the horn real quick, Rookie of the Year, is there anybody that's topping Emeka Egbuka off the top of your head that jumps to mind? None of the quarterbacks.
No,
are
great.
None of the running backs.
The Seahawks were sitting there. Seahawks were sitting there right in front of Tampa Bay. If they'd taken Egbuka, I would have been fine with it because they needed a receiver. If they'd taken Gray Zabel, I would have been fine with it. In retrospect, I would have taken Egbuka and probably then tried to trade up to get Gray Zabel for that offensive line because he's been great. He's played great for them. But Egbuka is just, he's everything we thought he was. He's another great Ohio State wide receiver, just like JSN.
He led Ohio State all time in receiving yards, and I wasn't that high on him. But yeah, he's pretty darn good. But to answer your question, Brian, I'd say it's between him and Tyler Warren. Those are 2. But it's most likely going to be Egbuka if Tyler Warren doesn't step it up a notch.
And I did mention earlier, I have Baker Mayfield and Jonathan Taylor in the early MVP race. Maybe Danny Dimes. Any other early MVP names?
I'd say either my top 5: Jonathan Taylor, Dak, Matthew Stafford, and Baker Mayfield. Matthew Stafford and Dak are at the top for passing TDs and passing yards right now. So, respectively, you got to put them there.
Jim, Mike, any other early MVP names that are jumping to your mind?
I'm biased. I'll go with Najigba. I'll stick by him. I mean, he's made some great catches this year. I mean, unbelievable.
He's been great. I don't know who the MVP is going to be, but I don't think it's going to be the usual suspects unless it's Josh Allen again. But we'll see.
I highly doubt that.
Hey, and the Bills looked mortal this week. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about Jared Goff. He's a perennial MVP candidate. 3 touchdowns on the day. They get the win 37-24. Lions improve to 4-1. Bengals fall to 2-3. Jake Browning's 3 interceptions to go along with 3 late touchdowns. Not enough as the Browns trade Joe Flacco over to the Bengals. Mike, what do you expect?
If I'm the Bengals, that's not the move I'm making.
Well, maybe it's just for some solid backup, perhaps. Mike's making a face.
Is that coming from me or?
I don't hear anything.
I'm good.
I don't know. I'm hearing something.
Okay. Yeah, the Bengals already have Joe Flacco listed as the starter and Jake Browning as the backup.
Yeah, and I mean they had to do something because their offense was just so terrible. What the fuck? Okay, so they had to do something. Kudos to them for scoring 24 points, but I'm just not sure Flacco's the answer for them. And the Lions just keep rolling along. They're the Lions. They're playing well. They're relatively healthy. I think the whole country's rooting for the Lions if their own team can't win it. that's how I feel about it. Anyway.
You might not be off on that. Like I said, I'd love to see Lions Bills. That way, a brand new team gets a Super Bowl, a brand new fan base gets their first celebration. I'm tired of it being hoarded by the same 6 cities. That's for sure. Jim, what did you think about this one? Bengals drop.
Yeah, the Lions opened at 10.5, and they pretty much stayed there all week. I don't like betting double-digit favorites, but if I had to, this would have been the game. Lions 40-12 straight up, 15-7 against the spread, 20-5 against the spread on the road. Double-digit favorites, 18-2 straight up. I mean, this game just screamed Lions. You know, if you wanted to, even if you wanted to make a money line bet on the parlay, which this was on my parlay, but thanks to the Cardinals special team player, my parlay, was DOA by 1,600 hours.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's a tough one. Yeah. By the way, David Montgomery in this game, he had the rare feat of a touchdown rushing and a touchdown passing. Izzy, what did you take away from this Lions victory?
Not so happy for my fantasy team at all about that, but it's whatever. Hey, it's a good game. It's a good game. I mean, the Lions, they came out and they did what they did against defense, what you expect them to do. And Cincinnati, I'm surprised they put up that much points against the Lions defense. I mean, the Lions defense has been pretty good this year, but credit to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase at the end of the day, and when you get him the ball, he will ball out.
See, and my mistake earlier, I said that they scored 3 points in a row for a couple of games. They did have 3 points up until the fourth quarter. They put 21 of those 24 in garbage.
Okay, yeah, you see, that's why I didn't watch the game.
I glanced away from the game. I look back, Jamar got a bunch of points. I'm like, okay, well, I guess garbage time counts. Yeah. Sure, but
I can't agree with Mike. I don't believe the Bengals will solve their problems with Joe Flacco. They'll 100% put more points on the board than Jake Browning. I mean, anybody's pretty much better than Jake Browning. But behind that O-line, I believe Joe Flacco is going to take a beating. He's just old. Yeah. He's too old for that. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
I kind of feel bad for him. So hopefully, hey, if they see something, then might as well go for it. I mean, he led the Browns to the playoffs. So, but respectively with a good defense. But besides that, hey, I mean, it's not much more they could do. But yeah, good one, Jared Goff, clean game. So.
Let's bounce over to the Commanders. We got a couple more games, and then we'll switch over real quick. Washington Commanders got the win 27-10 over the Chargers. There you go. 3-2 teams now. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 2 touchdowns on the ground for the Commanders, Mike. I don't know. Did you have this one picked? Are you surprised the Chargers dropped this one? But they're down 2 running backs now. Amari and Hampton's out for the season or a long term?
Yeah. I did not bet this game, but I didn't have a good feeling about it. I like Jaden Daniels coming back, but I wasn't sure he was healthy. He was healthy enough. Here's the bottom line for this game for me. Justin Herbert is not the answer. And he's had so many opportunities and he just doesn't get it done. As good as he is, I think he's fallen into the Jared Goff 2019, 2020 category, and that he has to have tons of talent around him to be able to get it done. And right now he doesn't, and he's not capable of carrying a team on his own. So Harbaugh's going to have to decide what he's going to do at quarterback after this season. I don't know, but I think he'll stick with Herbert because that's all he's got. But that to me, that's the story. Is the guy just doesn't get it done. Yep. Just doesn't get it done.
Jim, can I take your spot right quick and elaborate on that?
I'm busy.
Hit it.
Yeah, before the season started, I still believe, like I said, he's pretty much my favorite player. Justin Herbert. He is missing 3 of his O-linemen. Joe Alt's out. Rashawn Slater's out. And another guy on the O-line's out. I mean, you can only do so much with that as you can. But also, it is a bit of mediocrity. I mean, 22 attempts, you're only getting 166 yards, and you're throwing a pick. I mean, like, you got to do more than that, respectively, especially against the Commanders. And you got to put up more than 10 points. Amari Hampton's on IR now, so that puts the team down even lower. But I believe Justin Herbert still is their quarterback. I mean, going into the season, a smart football mind and Jim Harbaugh, he said that before he leaves his head coaching job, he'll get Justin Herbert to the Hall of Fame, and hopefully he does. But I don't see them moving on. I just believe that he does need talent. I mean, besides his O-line being out, it's kind of hard to win games without your O-line.
You are right. They're down 2 or 3 players there, and both starting running backs. I mean, it was only a couple games ago where they got that big win against the Chiefs. People were saying, "Hey, Justin Herbert in the early running for MVP," and you crash back to earth pretty quickly. But it's a team game. It's not golf. It's golf is one-on-one. That's you against the world every time. So,
I completely agree.
Team sports show you different stuff. Jim, any takeaways from this one? Commanders get the win.
Well, like Mike, I didn't play this game. I mean, the Redskins going into this game were 15-9 against the spread. The game opened at 2.5 at the beginning of the week and pretty much stayed there as far as the Chargers being a favorite. Didn't play the game, didn't watch it, and that's pretty much it.
All right, let's bounce to Patriots-Bills. Mike, Patriots got this one. Not a lot of us saw this coming. Still barely giving it to Travion Henderson. No touchdowns, no interceptions for Drake May, but it was enough to get it done against Josh Allen and the Bills, who dropped to 4-1, their first loss of the year.
Yeah, again, this is one of those games. 1 week out of every 5, you're gonna drop a turd. You're gonna have a clunker. The Bills didn't play their best.
What we call that, Mike? We call that taking the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. And, the Patriots came to play. They were very efficient. Drake May looked great. He's strong. They had a hard time getting him down a couple of times. He made some great throws. All kudos to Drake May, who looks more and more like a real player all the time. And they, good team went in and beat a good team on the road. And not much you can say about it, except this, things don't always go according to trends in the NFL. 1 week out of every 4, 1 week out of every 5, you're going to have a surprise because one team's going to be motivated and one team's maybe not. Maybe they're a little down. We'll see. So I thought it was a fun game, and the Patriots just pulled it out. I think if they played 10 times, the Bills are going to win 7 of them, but this is one of the 3 that the Patriots won.
Yeah, I didn't quite know that the Patriots might be this good. Season's young, but they improved to 3-2. Jim.
Yeah, this game it closed at 8, so there was Patriot money coming in, going from 8.5 to 8. People, the books were encouraging people to put their money on the Bills. And they made that number a little bit more attractive, but there's nothing attractive about 8.5 nor 8, as far as betting a division game. Mike Vrabel, 26-14 against the spread, going back to Tennessee when he coached Tennessee 2 years ago, and also the Bills going into this game, 13-0 straight up at home, no longer. This was one of the big upset games of the week, and like I said, there were 8 dogs that covered this week. If you were betting the barking dogs, you were cashing tickets.
A couple of other key points. Stephon Diggs had a rematch game. He was targeted 12 times, 10 receptions, 146 yards. He was eager to put some yards on the board against his former team, the Bills. 2 fumbles. Antonio Gibson, the running back, had a fumble for the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson had a fumble that was lost, and Travion Henderson recovered a fumble. So they continue to have problems holding onto the ball in New England, and I keep calling for Travion Henderson to become the bell cow back. I watched him at Ohio State. He gets better the more you hand it to him. Just give him the rock. You used a high pick on him. Make him your bell cow back.
In defense of my good friend Ramondre, I think he also had 2 touchdown runs.
Good for him.
Yes, he was. 7 carries, 14 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day. All right, good on you for not letting me steamroll him unfairly, but it does play a factor in the evaluation of the players that you have. All right, final game of the week. This one just happened. Jacksonville edged out the Chiefs, improving to 4-1 on the season. The Jacksonville Jaguars 4-1 on the season, beating the Chiefs. Mike Bara, Jacksonville 4-1. What universe are we in?
Yeah. That's a signature win. I mean, that's like a franchise signature win. I don't think they've won a big game since Mark Brunell led them to the AFC Championship game when they beat the Broncos in like 98 or 99 or something. So good for them. It was a tough game. And look, the Jags got the ass end of several calls in that game, including one time when they were down in near the end zone. There should have been a pass interference. It wasn't called. But then they got a couple calls back later in the game, but I think those were fairly legit. The ones that they missed in favor of the Chiefs should have gone to the Jags. But look, here's the bottom line, man. Trevor Lawrence, they had to bring their backup center in. He accidentally steps on Trevor Lawrence's foot. He falls down. He tries to get up. He falls down again. He still gets up. He has the presence of mind, the pocket presence, the savvy, whatever you want to call it, to figure out when he turns around, I can run for this. I remember when he got up on his feet, I'm like, he can run for that. And he did. And it was spectacular. So congratulations. He didn't outduel Patrick Mahomes or anything. Mahomes made a couple of throws in that game that were just, wow, great throws. But Trevor Lawrence made some really great throws too, and they won the game. And it was a big win for them. So good for the Jacksonville.
Yeah, I
Jaguars.
think we can date ourselves here with Izzy. Let's see if Izzy, if I say rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, do you have any idea what that refers to? Mike was talking about Trevor Lawrence getting that foot stepped on, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling in for a touchdown. Do you even know who I'm referencing, Izzy?
Not at all.
He does.
Chris Berman.
He doesn't know who Chris Berman is.
Yeah, Chris Berman, the greatest.
Chris
Izzy, what
Berman.
did you take away from this? The Chiefs lost another one.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Jaguars winning, so I could take that one as well with the Denver game as well. So it was a pretty good game. I watched it. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he's playing the kind of ball you want him to play. Same thing with Travis Etienne. But yeah, a phenomenal play. Well, first of all, they let the Chiefs give him too much time on a board to go down and score. And what a play by Trevor Lawrence. Stumbling, get back up, stumbling, get back up, touchdown. Patrick Mahomes played great. I mean, it's just a good Sunday night or Monday night football game. And credit to the coach. The coach, the new coach they got, he's been balling. They're 4-1, 3-0 in the division. So hey, credit to the coach.
Jim.
Yeah, this game was good to watch at the end. I mean, Chiefs opened at -3, and it's pretty much stayed there all week. They were favored by 3. There was no really any encouragement, as far as the bookies, to go ahead and take the Jaguars. Chiefs 7-11 against the spread. Mahomes was 29-12-1 straight up as a favorite of 3 or fewer points, or as an underdog. So the game was statistically was kind of leaning towards the Chiefs, but I thought I thought the Jaguars played a pretty solid game, and the Chiefs are not the Chiefs of last year.
No, they're not, and I'm okay with that. I'm not the biggest Chiefs fan around. I think they get incredibly lucky, and I think they are the beneficiary of a ton of.
Do we all agree that this is like the biggest Jaguars win in like 20 years? I mean, do we agree with that? I really think it might.
I mean, you're going back to Mark Brunell, who was really good back in those mid 2000s, early 2000s,
late 90s.
I mean, this is the biggest win they've had in a while. But once again, this is a down Chiefs team and a down Chiefs year, so we'll see how it shakes out at the end. But look at that. I had let me switch it back here. The standings. I don't know who really had this. Steelers 3-1, leading the AFC North. In the East, the Bills 4-1. We probably had that. But who had the Colts and Jaguars at 4-1, 4-1? I don't know that anybody did. Or the Chargers and Broncos tied at the top of the AFC West at 3-2. Eagles lead their division at 4-1. Lions lead at 4-1. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-1, and then San Francisco at 4-1. So some surprises and some things that maybe we expected to see. Make sure you're following us on X. We are at TNAM Football, TNAM Football, and we have this up here. Jim, this is our Week 6 trends. We'll start with the Eagles giving 4.5 at the Giants. Eagles are 17-9 against the spread. They're 7-3 straight up versus the Giants. They're 2-3 straight up versus the Giants in East Rutherford. And the favorites of 4 or more points are 24-8-1 straight up. Giants, however, are 1-17 straight up on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night. Any main takeaway there for you?
Yeah, that's the glaring statistic right there. I mean, the Giants just cannot play primetime evening games. I mean, 1-17 straight up. I mean, that's incomprehensible. I mean, they just do not play well in prime time. I'll be playing the Eagles in this game. Also the weather. The weather is supposed to be 61 degrees and sunny in East Rutherford on that day. So this is the Thursday.
Are you going money line, or are you giving the points, or are you going money line? Because I'm giving the points in this game because I think the Eagles take it easily.
Division game. I would. Teams of the Eagles' caliber normally, if they have a bad game the week before, they bounce back and destroy the team that they go in and play. And they were embarrassed by Denver, and I think they play hard. I wouldn't feel real uncomfortable laying the 4.5.
All right. Let's bounce over to the Broncos. Broncos are given 7 points to the Jets at the Jets. Broncos are 7-24 straight up on the road. That's not good. Broncos are 2-3 against the spread in 2025. Broncos are 19-25-1 against the spread. They're 10-1 against the spread as a favorite. Okay. Broncos are 7-1 straight up and against the spread versus a team with a losing record. And when playing in London, favorites are 37-10-1 straight up and 33-15 against the spread. Favorites of 4 or more points are 24-8-1 straight up. Jets are only 1-9 straight up versus teams with a winning record, Jim.
Yeah, this screams a money line parlay on this. I would go ahead and play the Broncos on the money line. The Jets are probably officially the worst team in the league right now since the Cardinals let the Titans win last week. So I would be on the Broncos in this game.
Gotcha. Mike, any thoughts on it?
The weather in London is supposed to be 62 degrees and partly cloudy.
That sounds like typical London weather, I suppose. Stuff the Jets are probably used to. Mike, any thoughts on this game, Broncos-Jets?
No. Just on that first game, I had a thought. This one, I don't have anything to say. I'll say it when I do my picks. But no.
Okay.
Jets suck.
Jets suck. All right. Rams are given 7.5 at the Ravens. Rams are 11-5 against the spread. Regarding the Rams, teams that play the Santa Clara 49ers are 17-32 straight up the week after. And favorites of 4 or more points are 24-8-1 straight up, Jim.
Yeah, I wouldn't be looking to play this game. Statistically, as far as Santa Clara, playing the Rams last week, they had a lot of defensive players out, mostly Nick Bosa. So I would quickly beat up, because the 49ers defense is not what it was last year. But 7.5, I kind of hate that half point in this game. But the Rams should comfortably cover in this game, as decimated as Baltimore is.
Yeah, the Ravens have they just haven't looked like a traditional Baltimore team, which I'm fine with. I'm very happy with. My gut says Rams given 7.5. I think they're clearly a couple touchdown favorite, but it's moments like this where Vegas makes their money, and that's why I stay out of it for the most part. But I would have no problem with the Rams given 7.5, watching how the Ravens have so poorly played.
You are smarter than I am.
Well, thank you. To be continued. There's still time for me to become a degenerate like everybody else out there with gambling apps on their phones. I've avoided it so far. All right, let's look at Cardinals Colts. Colts are giving 6.5 at home. Kyler Murray is 23-9 against the spread on the road, and favorites of 4 or more points are 24-8-1. 4-1 straight up. Jim Mitchell.
Yeah, Murray is a good quarterback on the road. He plays well on the road, but there's no way I take the Cardinals in this game. I think the Colts are for real. If this game goes to 7, I wouldn't be interested in it. But the Colts lay in 6.5. I think that number it's a big number as far as bettors are concerned. But if I had to play the game, it would be a money line parlay on this game.
Okay. Yeah, and I just wonder if the Cardinals were able to pull off the win yet last week, if it would feel different setting it up against the Colts. It just, you get that tough loss and it just feels different, I think. So I don't know. 6.5 given there. All right, Chargers are giving 4.5 at the Dolphins. Chargers are 8-1 straight up versus teams with losing records. Favorites of 4 or more points are 24, 8-1 straight up. Tagovailoa is only 2-11 straight up as a dog. Dolphins are only 1-4 against the spread at home. Dolphins are only 9-22 against the spread as an underdog. Tagovailoa is only 4-11-1 straight up versus teams with winning records. And the Dolphins are only 1-16 straight up versus teams with winning records. Does this point to you, Jim, that you might want to bet Chargers?
Yeah, the Chargers are going to bounce back after having 2 losses in a row. They're going to bounce back and win this game. How much they win it by is remains to be said. 83 degrees and very humid in this game at kickoff time. Sunny conditions, no rain in the forecast for this game. I would be on the Chargers in this game. I would probably feel comfortable laying the 4.5. The Dolphins are not good. They're below not good, and it's like Mike says. The coach is probably on his last year there.
We shall see in that one. Browns Steelers. All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Browns at Steelers. Steelers are giving 5.5. Browns are only 18-32 against the spread after a loss. Browns are 11-21 against the spread versus the AFC North. Steelers are 21-0 straight up at home versus the Browns. Now, Jim, that doesn't include the playoffs because we beat them in the playoffs.
Doesn't it?
Playoffs
Doesn't include what?
Playoffs? Talk about playoffs?
Aaron Rodgers is going to torch your team this week.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Playoffs?
Another
win a game.
Yeah, so that stat right there that the Steelers are 21-0 straight up at home versus the Browns, that doesn't include Baker Mayfield retiring little Ben Raplesberger in his final game at Heinz Field. But they're 21-0 aside from that.
Oh, come on.
Steelers are 26-5.
That's a dirty.
Steelers
that's a dirty.
No, that was
shot.
2020. That was only a few years ago.
That's going back to that incident happened in another jurisdiction. I mean that incident I believe happened in Florida. So
hey, that was still Myles Garrett. I'm just saying that was still Myles Garrett. All right,
it was terrible. It was in a bathroom.
Steelers are 26-5 straight up versus rookie quarterbacks. Okay, that's a legit stat. Steelers are 14-4 straight up after a week off. Yes, I guess the Browns had a chance to pick this as an off week, but we chose not to. In favorites of 4 or more points are 24-8-1 straight up. So, Jim, are you feeling the Steelers on this one?
I'm feeling the Steelers in this one. This like you said earlier, Brian, this division is wide open.
It is 2-3 Cincinnati as well.
It's going to be between the Steelers and the Browns. If Dylan Gabriel turned out to be half as decent as people think he would be, the Browns have actually the Browns have got a shot. They've got a shot.
Put the house on the Steelers.
69 degrees, partly cloudy at kickoff. So
Izzy says, "Put the house on the Steelers." Goodness, that's his lock of the week.
Lead pipe lock of the week. I'm not crazy about the 5.5. It's a division game. They're familiar with each other, very familiar with each other. But Steelers coming off a bye week also.
By the way, Droopy Dog saying he loves it when playoffs. It's so funny when you do that. So good. I'm glad we're making some people laugh. By the way,
and no Deb, no toxically masculine Tuesday tonight. I just can't. I don't have the throughput here to do it. I'm barely hanging
come on,
here,
Mike.
so we'll be back next week.
How's Brooks doing?
oh yeah,
Brooks is doing better. Dr. Brooks Agnew is doing significantly better. He's home, and he seems to be fully recovered from his bout.
Good
news. Good update. Thank you for that. All right, Patriots are given 3.5 points at the Saints. Only one note here: Rattler is 1-10 straight up as a starter. So, what you thinking, Jim? Patriots minus 3.5.
Well, I think the Saints are, they're probably
Saints are going to take it.
Earth on this game, and I like the Patriots in this game. I think Vrabel's for real, and I think my friend Ramondre is going to have another good game, underneath the dome. So I like the Patriots in this game.
Yeah, the Browns could have had Vrabel, and we let him get out of our building to keep Stefanski. For the life of me, I don't understand the decision, but it is what it is. All right, so we will see. Patriots at Saints. Last game listed here: Titans at Raiders. Raiders. Oh God, Raiders are favored. Raiders are giving 5.5 to the Titans. The Titans are only 4-18 against the spread. Geno Smith is 4-13-1 against the spread at home. In favorites of 4 or more points are 24-8-1. Straight up here, Jim.
Corner TV game. Not interested in playing it at all. Raiders are overvalued in this game. I know the Cardinals gave the Titans their first win of the week. Not interested at all in playing this game. This is an ugly game.
Gotcha. All right. Well, all of those are on our X feed at TNAM Football. Make sure you follow Mike Bara at seahawkboymikeb and Mike Bara 333. Izzy, we tagged Izzy. What the heck is yours? Is on sticks. What is it? Ez'Ryel Ez.
Yep, name backwards.
Ez'Ryel Ez on X. And Mike, one of these days, we will probably put together an X profile for Jim in absentia. We'll just create one with a new email. He'll exist in the online space. We'll just pretend it's him.
You don't have that second.
We'll pretend.
You don't have that second page, Brian.
Is there a second page?
I sent Mike 2 pages.
I only got one page that I saved. If you have more, Mike.
I passed it on.
You might have. Whatever I saved only gave me one. That's all I see.
You want me to go? I can go cave.
I just reset it. I just reset it, Brian. So you should be able
to. It'll start out with the 49ers and Buccaneers. Buccaneers are a 3-point favorite in this game. 85 degrees and sunny in Tampa. Game time. Mac Jones is, as far as I know, is to start this game again since Purdy's got the bad toe. He is 7-19 against the spread. The Buccaneers are 13-4 straight up as a home favorite. I like the Buccaneers in this game. 3 is not a real big number, but I think Baker continues to win.
I can agree with that.
Okay, you got it. You got it up now, Brian. If you want to go ahead and read it.
Yeah, I do. If you give me 1 second, because I got I will send this out on X. Mike, did you have any thoughts on the Bucs game?
No, I'll give you my picks when I do my picks. So
all right, Bengals, Packers. Packers are giving 14.5. Oh my goodness, that's a ton. The Bengals, teams that play the Lions, are 6-12 straight up and 3-15 against the spread the week after. Packers, the NFC North, is 36-21-2 against the spread versus non-division opponents. Packers are 9-5-1 straight up when favored by 4 or more points. Favorites of 4 or more points are 24-8-1 straight up. Double-digit favorites are 11-10 against the spread and 19-2 straight up. Jim, Bengals, Packers. What thoughts do you have there?
Game time, 67 degrees and partly cloudy. So ideal conditions for a good football game in Green Bay. I will never lay 14.5 in a football game and put money on it. But this game probably screams money line on a parlay. The Packers coming off a week off, so the Packers are going to be fresh, and the Bengals are the Bengals without Joe Burrow, and that's all that needs to be said. The Packers win this game.
Yeah, 14.5 points. That's almost what's the biggest line you can remember in the NFL, Jim?
The
14.5 is high, but it's not the
biggest. The biggest notable line that I remember is my good friend Gary Stewart used to play for the San Diego Chargers, and he played with when they went to the Super Bowl against Steve Young. That line opened downtown at 19.5. That's Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl.
In favor of San Francisco. And at the time, they were San Francisco. And they absolutely annihilated the San Diego Chargers in that Super Bowl. But
Yeah,
that was back, I believe that was the Super Bowl that was played. It was either 87 or 88. And my good buddy Gary Stewart was on injured reserve in that game. He was a middle linebacker for the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, 14.5 seems like a lot. We'll see how that shakes out. I mean, they're just going to plug and play Flacco, I guess. They're just going to make the switch, huh? Good luck to them. All right, let's go Lions Chiefs. Chiefs are given 2.5 points here. Chiefs are favored? Okay. Lions are 41-12 straight up. That seems weird to me. I would bet the Lions all day. Lions are 41-12 straight up. They're 16-7 against the spread. Jared Goff is 21-5 against the spread on the road. The NFC North is 36-21-2 against the spread versus non-division opponents. Chiefs are 7-12 against the spread. Mahomes is 29-13-1 straight up as a favorite of 3 or fewer points or as an underdog. Chiefs are 22-9-1 straight up when favored by less than 3 points, and Mahomes is 21-5 straight up after a loss. My gut instinct, Jim, is to go Lions. What are you feeling?
That would be my gut instinct. I don't know that I would play this game other than if this game, if I had a 3 or 4 team parlay, this would probably be my last game to bet, to where you could actually hedge this game and bet the other side to protect your ticket. This game opened at 1.5 prior to the game last night, and it quickly moved up to 2.5 in favor of the Chiefs. So there was Lion money coming in here. No, actually, there was Chief money coming in, so that they made that number higher, to make the Chiefs less tasty to bet, and they wanted to make Detroit more palatable to bet in this game. But as of 2 hours ago, yes, the Chiefs are now a 2.5 point favorite. They went from 1.5 to 2.5.
Yeah, and the Chiefs are getting a little healthier, but I just don't know. I feel like the Lions are the play there. All right, let's go to the Bills and Falcons. Bills are giving 4.5 at the Falcons. The Bills are 20-6 straight up after a loss. The Bills are 14-11 against the spread. They're 9-2 straight up versus the NFC. And meanwhile, the Falcons are 4-2 straight up and against the spread Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night games. What do you think this one?
This game opened at 4 yesterday, and it was quickly bet down to 3.5.
Okay.
And then it went back to 4.5 this afternoon. So opening at 4 and going down to 3.5, there was money coming in on the Falcons, which lowered that number on the Buffalo side. But then it bounced back quickly to 4.5. So indoor game, Bills coming off a loss. It's like I said before, very good football teams that lose the week before will come out and play extra hard. So I would take the Bills in this game and go ahead and lay the 4.5.
Okay, that brings us to the actual final game: Bears and Redskins. Redskins giving 4.5 points. Oh, by the way, note on the Cleveland Browns, I forgot to mention, now that Flacco's gone, don't sleep on Deshaun Watson getting another chance to play. He's coming back from an injury. He's sitting there. Just something to keep in the back of your mind, like, OMG, are they really gonna? Well, they might. Okay, final one: Bears versus Redskins giving 4.5. Bears are 14-33 straight up. The Bears are 5-23 straight up on the road. NFC North is 36-21-2 against the spread versus non-division opponents. Redskins are 16-9 against the spread in favorites of 4 or more points, or 24-8-1 straight up. Jim.
Washington, D.C., game time 66 degrees and raining is in the forecast.
Okay.
Both of these teams are outdoor football teams. Bears, Chicago coming off a bye week, so they're going to be rested. Bears have been playing their last couple games. They've been playing better than what they started. So Williams, people be looking to see how Williams does in this game. I have really no opinion or inclination to bet this game at all.
Okay. Well, that is our betting trends for the week. Mike Bara, you want to tell us how you did last week and tell us who you want to pick this week?
Okay, let me do
caveman style. How are we going to do this? Or are we going to pull it up?
Screen share. Oh, I can do my screen share, I think. Oh, I'm not logged in.
Resubmit the form. Here, I'll take that
Hey,
off.
Mike, the Mariners are on the board.
Oh,
shit, 2-0. I missed it. Damn. It was sitting right there. I didn't see it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Yeah, 2-0. Good.
Good eye,
All
Izzy,
right.
good eye.
Thank you, man. Okay, so I'm sharing, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Send
Sorry.
it
Here we go. Last week you were 6-8, it says.
Last week I had a bad week. I was 6-8. I missed on the Rams. I got the Vikings. I missed on Philly. Baltimore. I don't know what I was thinking. I won't pick them again. I should have picked the Saints. So not a great week for me. Let's move on to week 6 and see what we got here. I'm with you, Jim. I really like Philly. I would give the 4.5, but I'm not going to bet this week because I'm nowhere near a casino. So I'm taking Philly over the Giants. I think the Giants are going to go to 1-5, and yeah, that's bad. The Broncos, I take them on the money line. The Jets are bad, but I do think the Broncos put a lot into last week's game. They could be vulnerable. This is a possible upset, but I just don't see how the Jets are going to win a game. Colts, Cardinals, everything says the Colts are going to win that game. Cardinals may surprise us, but I don't see how. They seem like a team in disarray and disunity right now. Browns and Steelers. This is tough, but I got to go with the Steelers at home just because they're at home. That's the only reason. I think Cowboys need a win. I think you go in and beat the Panthers. I think the Panthers showed us last week they're really not that good. Rams over the Ravens until the Ravens win something and start showing us something and they get Lamar back. I'm not going with them. This is the worst game of the day for me. The Chargers, who suck, versus the Dolphins, who suck, but the Chargers suck less, so I'm going to take them. I think signature win again for the Patriots, but I just don't think the Saints are that tough. They don't have that many bullets in the gun, so I'm going to take the Patriots on the road to win that game. Seattle against Jacksonville. Everything says you should bet Jacksonville. Look at how well they played. Look at how they pulled it out. Look at how good they are. It's going to be in an Eastern time zone. It's going to be 10 a.m. Taking the Seahawks. I think that they bounce back from that fluky kind of loss. Not fluky, but loss that could have been a win. And I think the Jaguars, there's an old saying in the NFL, win on Monday, lose on Sunday. I think the Jags have a little bit of a letdown. They're an immature team. I think the Seahawks come in and surprise them with that win. Raiders and Titans. I think Geno Smith and Pete Carroll get their second win. I think there's an illusion going on here that they're better than they are. I think they pull it out at home against the Titans. Bengals versus the Packers. Joe Flacco's not enough to beat the Packers at home. Tampa Bay versus San Francisco. Very even game, very tough competitive game. I'm going to root for Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay. I'm just going to take them. Kansas City and Detroit. Detroit's at Kansas City. But, Jim, the weather's not bad, right? You said the weather wasn't going to be bad in Kansas City or anything. So I think I'm going to say that the Lions are going to put the Chiefs in a little bit of a hole and sneak that game out.
87
Falcons, Bills.
87 degrees, partly cloudy.
I'm going to take the Lions in the good weather. I'm going to take the Bills over the Falcons. You know me. I love my Michael Penix, but I think the Bills bounced back from a bad game last week where they lost. Chicago at Washington, the Redskins, they're at home. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. I'm just going to close my eyes and go with the home team and take the Redskins. That is it. Those are my picks.
And what is your overall? You're 49-29 overall.
49-29. Yeah, which is, pretty good if I bet the money line.
That's, by the way, that's exactly my record, 49-29.
Okay, so I suck then because I'm in the same level as Brian.
No, we didn't mean to go there. All right. Let's go to Izzy, caveman style. I believe you can't share your screen. No, I started off like gangbusters. What is your overall, Izzy? Are we tied or did you put on? Are you leading right now?
Hold on, we might be tied. I gotta log back in. Oh, there we go. I'm in here. I'm 46-32.
Oh, okay.
What are you guys?
49-29. What was your record last week, sir?
7-7, unfortunately.
Okay.
The Rams messed me up. The Ravens, the Dolphins, the Cardinals, Seahawks, Chargers, Bills. I mean, like teams you.
It was a tough week. There was a lot.
Yeah, it's a tough week. Hey, at least I got the Broncos and the Jaguars. All right.
Yeah, well, let's go through it this week. I'll pull it up on my screen just so you can make your picks. I can't show it, but
no, I'm looking at mine. I just can't show you now. All right, Philly, New York. I'm gonna take Philly. I got them winning. I don't see a world where Jackson Dart gets a win in this league. Broncos, Jets. I'm gonna take the underdog. The Jets are gonna win their first game of the year. Colts and Cardinals. You already know I took the Colts all year and before the year started, so I got the Colts. Steelers, Pittsburgh. Like I said, bet the house on the Steelers. The Steelers, Aaron Rodgers is gonna torch the Browns defense, and Dylan Gabriel might throw a pick or two this game. I guarantee at least one. Cowboys, Panthers. I expect to score at least 30 points against the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers have been playing good, but they're the Panthers, led by Bryce Young, so I highly doubt it. Ravens, Baltimore versus the Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams. Hopefully they don't screw me over again this week. Chargers, Dolphins. I got the Chargers bouncing back. I'm gonna still take the Chargers. Pats, Saints. I'm gonna take the Saints over the Patriots this week. They got their last one last week. Yeah, the Patriots just did go through a tough game against the Bills, but I felt like the chemistry and finally getting over that hump for the Saints is gonna get them another win against the Patriots. Seattle, Jacksonville. I'll come back to that game. Tennessee and the Raiders. I don't like this game at all. Same thing with the Bills and Patriots last week. As much as I like Ashton Jeanty, I'm gonna take Cam Ward to win another game. Cincinnati, Green Bay.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. If they ride Ashton Jeanty, I can see him pulling it through. But as long as Geno's back there, hey man, I don't see anything happening. Cincinnati, Green Bay. So are they going to play Joe Flacco?
I think they have him listed as the starter. I think.
All right.
Sounds like it.
I'm gonna take Cincinnati that game. Come back. We'll see next week. San Francisco, Tampa Bay. This is a really, really good game.
Yeah.
There's some heavyweight matchups this week. As much as I love Baker, I'm gonna take the 49ers winning because Mac Jones, I'm a heavy believer in Mac Jones, even when he was on the Patriots, and now he gets his time to shine. So I'm gonna take Mac at Detroit and Kansas City. Mahomes is gonna air that ball out. I don't see them beating Detroit though. So I got Detroit, Bills, Atlanta. I'm gonna take Atlanta. The Bills are gonna lose 2 in a row, and Washington and Chicago. I'm gonna take Washington, of course.
Bills are gonna lose 2 in a row. What gave you that idea?
I I don't know. I just like Michael Penix a lot and Drake London. So I feel like their offense has it. Oh, I forgot again. Seattle and Jacksonville. I've been taking Seattle all year. You said someone's out for the DBs on Seattle?
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 guys out. We don't know who they're going to get back this week. Julian Love, their best safety, who's probably a Pro Bowl safety, didn't play last week. Devon Witherspoon didn't play. The other guy, Tariq Woolen, got a concussion. He went out after just a few plays, and then his backup, Nehemiah Pritchett, also got injured. So they're down 4 of their 5 top defensive backs. At least they were last Sunday. I don't know who's going to play this week. We have to wait for the injury reports.
Okay. As much as I love the Seahawks, I got to take the Jaguars this week. Sorry, Mike. This is the first time I'm taking away from them.
It's not a dumb bet. It's not a dumb bet. It's going to be a very tight game.
I agree. Yeah. Oh, those are my picks for the week.
All right. You said overall, your record overall again was what? I'm 49-29 tied with Mike. You're 47-27?
I'm 46-32.
I'm sorry, 46.
Oh, by the way, there's one little factoid I meant to share this week, which is Seahawk related. But did you know that Seahawks tight end AJ Barner, second-year tight end, has 8 career touchdowns? Brock Bowers, the self-proclaimed greatest tight end in the NFL, the rookie, has only 5. So that's pretty interesting.
Brock,
just thought I'd throw that out there. If you're a fantasy guy, you might look at AJ Barner because the Seahawks are using him in a way that he scores touchdowns.
Yeah, what's killing me is I drafted Elijah Arroyo, expecting him to score touchdowns for Seattle.
It won't let him play.
Yeah, they're giving him the Travion Henderson treatment. You just keep him barely on the field. I don't get it. But anyway, is what it is. Okay, Jim Mitchell in Jigba. Look at that. That's the best caveman version I've seen yet. This is pseudo-professional caveman version.
The caveman is improving. Someday we're going to teach you how to screen share, Jim.
He is evolving. Let's see it, Jim. You're 47-31 on the year. Okay, respectable.
Show me how to screen share, Mike. I'll buy you a pizza. So
I'll come over. I'll come over. Your wife makes me some pizza. I'll come over and
don't forget though, plot twist, the pizza will have pineapple. So you'll have to chuck it away. Jim, tell us who you're picking.
Okay, I'm comfortably in third place. I'm 47-31 since you two are tied. I stunk on rye last week. I was 6-8 straight up. So, like I said, it was a turnover week. I'll go with the Eagles to beat the GI Ants. Denver at New York. The Jets are officially the worst football team. I'm going to go with Denver. Hopefully, they stayed back east and got a hotel in Buffalo so they'd have a short trip to East Rutherford. Actually, they're playing in London, aren't they? Yeah, that's the England game. All right. Indianapolis, I'll take them against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are officially done. I got the Steelers. The Steelers are too solid at home against Cleveland. I got Dallas comfortably beating the Panthers. The Rams will no doubt take care of the Ravens. The Ravens are just still decimated. I got the Chargers bouncing back against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are not good, below not good. I look for Mike Vrabel to continue to keep his team up. I think the Saints probably played a little over their head. I think the Patriots win this game. I am staying with the Seahawks to beat the Jaguars. I'll go with Mike's theory on Monday night teams. You know, not coming in and being as solid the next week. So I take Seattle to go ahead and beat Jacksonville. I'm going to look for the Titans. The Raiders are not good. They are a terrible football team. I think the Titans come in and upset the Raiders.
Wow.
I will take.
Wow. See, I think Gino and Pete are going to make a comeback, but wow.
No, Gino and Pete suck on wheat, Mike. I will take Green Bay to comfortably beat the Bengals. I think Baker Mayfield gets it done against Santa Clara. And I think the Lions come in and upset the Chiefs. I don't understand that point spread either, Brian. So I think the Lions are on a roll. They're solid. I just think they're cruising game after game. And I think they come in and beat the Chiefs. The Bills are going to bounce back. They're going to destroy the Falcons after that embarrassing loss at home. And the Redskins will end up beating Caleb and the Bears.
The Bears. And there is Jim's caveman picks of the week. All right, let's go to mine. Last week I was a paltry 6-8. It was not my finest hour, but luckily on the season I am 49-29, doing okay. But let's try to put some distance here. Try to stay strong. Philly, New York. I'm going Philly. Denver, New York. I'm going Denver. I can't see upsets here from either of these New York teams. Arizona and Indy. I mean, Arizona, it's going to go one of two ways. Either Mike and Jim are going to be right. Well, and Izzy, I mean, like he used to be a fighter. Now it's like, was he just crushing his checks like Deshaun Watson was accused of? Like no heart, no give a shit. This is a make or break for Kyler Murray, really, to figure out what he's made of. But I think the Colts are going to get this done. Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Cleveland's going to open up the playbook for Dylan Gabriel a little bit. He made no stupid mistakes. Yes, a couple balls got tipped. Yes, a couple balls sailed. It wasn't perfect, but it was a pretty good game. He threw 2 touchdown passes. And so I think that they're going to prove that they are the team to beat in this terrible division. If we get this win and drop the Steelers, our season is not done yet. And Quinshon Judkins.
No, it could happen. Brian, you're not crazy because your defense is so good, and the Steelers aren't that good. Yeah. So you're not crazy to think that. I mean, that was a tough game for me to pick. I just went. And
I could also be crazy on top of it. I notoriously, I'm the homer. I will notoriously pick my home teams, but I think Dylan Gabriel earned a little bit more leash. I think they're going to let him go a little bit longer. They're going to have him throw a little bit deeper, and they're rolling him out of the pocket. I see good things happening, and I think that Browns defense will put a hurt on the Pittsburgh.
What the younger generation likes to say is check down merchant. You got to throw the ball deep, and Dylan Gabriel is a check down merchant, and that's not a good name to have.
Well, part of that is a function of the Stefanski offense. Part of that is being game one as a rookie in the NFL in London, a limited playbook. Just get it out of your hands, get it to your playmakers quick. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, check down merchant, just like you said. SGA was, what did you call him? He was about the free throw merchant. You call him a free throw merchant. Similar slur, I suppose. Dallas at Carolina. Oh, you're tempted to make me go with Carolina on this, Izzy, with the way you're calling him a check down merchant. But I'm going to pick Dallas. Dallas should get this win easy. Rams are going to beat Baltimore, just send them continue to spiral away. Chargers are going to come back against the Dolphins. New England's going to take care of business against the Saints. Seattle, Jacksonville. I want to come back to that too. Tennessee, Vegas. I'm going Vegas, barely. Green Bay should get this one easy against the Bengals. Baker and the boys. This is tough. This is a coin flip game here. But, man, you love the heart. You love the fight out of those Buccaneers. Although, the San Francisco 49ers.
You need to maximize your screen there, Brian. We see in your face instead of your picks.
There we go. I was fiddling around with my goatee far too much on camera. I didn't know I was in screen. Thank you, Mike. I'm going to go with Baker and the boys over the Niners. Detroit at Kansas City. Yeah. I'm picking Detroit. They are the better team. Let's see if they can beat the Chiefs and the refs. That's how it usually goes when you play KC, especially in KC. Buffalo should take care of business against Hotlanta. I'm going to pick Chicago to get this upset win against Washington. I think the bye is going to help them. And then Seattle, Jacksonville. I'm going to pick Seattle. I don't think Jacksonville's legit. And frankly, I need to start rooting for the Jaguars to lose so that my Browns, who own their number one pick next year, can get a much higher draft pick. But 4-1, I mean, good on them to get the season started. And that is the picks. that we have for today on Strictly Football. We've done last week, we've done this week. Any odds and ends, gentlemen, as we wrap today's program up, even shorter than it was last week, might I add?
It's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game. I don't know. All I know is
we had him. We let him off the hook. You want to crown her? You want to crown him and then go crown
their asses.
All right.
Yeah, I guess this is where odds and ends. If we had anything college football related, anything Bad Bunny related, anything tangentially football related, as we wrap it up, gentlemen.
Bring the brooms out.
No,
today and tomorrow. Yankees getting swept. Phillies getting swept.
Oh, Yankees, Phillies. You're calling it. Okay.
I mean, yeah, the Dodgers we're too good.
Yes, we're boring Jim to death.
Jim's gonna go paint a wall and watch it dry.
He's gonna paint it with a broom. You should paint it with a broom.
Or I'll go over here and watch the grass grow.
Yeah, we'll have to make a pizza with some Red Bull sauce underneath the cheese to wake you up a little bit with the baseball talk. Hey, congratulations to my Cleveland Indians. Good season. We got beat by the Tigers out of 3. It was tough, whatever, but coming back from 15 and a half games back just a month and a half ago, it's insane. So congrats. I just hope our new ownership group will start spending some money and putting some more bats in the lineup to help the pitching. So
Cleveland Indians.
Always will be. Cleveland Indians right here, everybody. All right, but this is Strictly Football, so we will end on that note. Mike Bara, you said programming note, not doing a Toxically Masculine Tuesday show today.
No, I just can't get it done. Not today. But next week we should be back on schedule. I should be home from Orlando then.
Do you want to tell people about the Orlando thing? What are you doing this week if people want to come up?
Super Soldier Activation Conference in Orlando. And I gotta go.
Awesome.
So
we'll have fun at that. Jim, Izzy, Mike, thank you all for being here on Strictly Football. We will
just remember, Brian.
Fluids. Precious bodily fluids.
Grain alcohol and rainwater.
Grain alcohol and rainwater. That's it.
Rainwater. Purity of essence.
I gotta go.
Mike. Thank you, everybody.
Hope the Mariners win.
What's that, Izzy?
Hope the Mariners win. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, I'll pull for him too.
Yeah.
Wake Jim up when September ends. When October ends, like the Green Day song.
Season's too damn long. Too many games.
Fair enough. But this is when they count, and it's just like every play is just your heart.
What do they play? 168 games a year. Is that right?
No, it was 162. I don't know where.
Please.
Anyway, good luck to your Doyers. Go Doyers. Go Doyers.
Yeah, go Doyers.
Go Doyers.
We're hitting it.
All right. Take care, everybody. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Strictly Football.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.